Got a number of things to talk about in this video, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We have, of course, Katy Perry. Space astronaut Katy Perry, not exactly has come back to Earth yet. We'll get into that. We're going to get into what's going on with this whole Sean Diddy court trial. And we got some new stuff with that. Oh yeah, we got some juicy steak here, my friends. We got some serious stuff to get into. In this, of course, video, apparently some other people have been mentioned in the court case. We'll get into that. And actually, you're not going to believe some of the stuff we're going to go over with regards to that. We got a number of clips from the last couple months, and some of them very recent, within the last day. To get into, we have TD Jakes, some new connections there. A former president. Oh, yeah. And a lot of details in that regard we'll get into. And we're going to talk about also some other things. We're going to get into some movie stuff as well and some other things with what's going on with the economy and Target and Walmart, all that kind of stuff. Let's just get going here. We'll start with this. Here we have Katy Perry. Ever since she went on that Blue Origin space ride, she's come back, or maybe she hasn't come back. I don't know. Maybe this is an alien that replaced her. Not quite sure, but we do have a lot of very bizarre clips of her, and it's a plethora. Okay, I'm only going to show you a fraction of them, and there's like 4. That's just a fraction. There's like so many of these. You're like, what the hell's going on with this lady? All right? Like, look at this choreography. Oh my goodness. It's just horrible. Like, I think I could do a better job. I literally think I could do a better job. I can't dance. I can't do acting, nothing. And I'm pretty sure I could do a better job than her. So honestly, I don't know how she get this big of a crowd at these different venues. I'm not quite sure. Jumping jacks. Literally jumping jacks. I can do jumping jacks. I think I can still do them. I'm getting up there in age and not the best shape. I'm not like I was when I was younger. All right. I'm not like I was when I was younger, but I'm pretty sure I can still do those. All right. You got this clip. Look at this one. She's running. She's got that pace going, you know, and oh my goodness, look at this. Wow. That's some real talent there. That's some real talent. I don't know. There's also some other unique... Oh my goodness, it even gets worse. It gets worse, man. Like, is she, you know, taking, of course, something before some of these concerts? I don't know. It's a good question to ask. Now, this one, again, this is literally at her concert, okay? This is literally at her concert. I don't even know if I want to show this. It's really that bad. Okay? Yeah, I already saw enough, all right? Okay, that was one of her concerts. Okay, this is the kind of stuff she's putting out now. Ever since she got back from that joyride into space, if you could call it that, on the Blue Origin rocket, that giant, of course, strangely shaped thing that she flew up into space in. Oh my goodness gracious, dude. But then there was this. This just came out a couple days ago. Actually, about 4 or 5 days ago. Look at how she's holding this lady. Very bizarre. What's going on there? I don't know. Very strange. At any rate, so you got that. I just wanted to kind of give you an update on Katy Perry because I'm sure you guys all wanted to know what's going on with her. You know, maybe an alien took over when she went up into space. They just kind of got abducted while they were up there at the Kármán line. And some other beings came in her place that doesn't know how to act, doesn't know how to dance. I don't know. People are still paying her, though. I don't know what's going on, man. This world is the Twilight Zone. Of course, you remember this clip from, what was this? Back in February. You had Tom Hanks on a game show, and he didn't want to shake the host's hand. He's wearing one of those red hats, of course, trying to say that we're all like this. We had Bill Maher comment on this recently when he had Jillian Michaels on. And it was kind of interesting what they had to say. Check this out.
Listen, I've met Tom Hanks a couple of times, and he was very kind and very lovely, and his wife was exceptionally lovely. But when he was on Saturday Night Live...
I hated it too, and I said it on my show. I know.
What?
I hated it. Wearing the MAGA hat, not shaking hands with a black person. Right. And that's when I thought, you people don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with the black.
Of course. It's so ridiculous. They're still playing this like something that they could maybe sort of, I don't even know if they could sell it ever. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to sell something that's just simply not true at all. You know, for a little short time, maybe like 10 years ago, they could kind of sell it. Not 10, but a little bit less than 10. They could sell it to some of the people that watch the mainstream media, right? But anymore, no one believes this stuff anymore. Getting over this whole Diddy court case, we got some crazy stuff to get into with regards to that. Diddy's bodyguard says there are tapes of politicians at some, of course, these parties, and claims the rapper learned this, I guess, technique from other music moguls. So this is something that's been handed down to the Didmeister. And apparently he's not the first one. So this seems to be something with a little bit more deep history to it. And, of course, we have comedian Eddie Griffin says that Diddy is going to be a dead, of course, man. And won't leave prison alive after his arrest. This is what comedian Eddie Griffin had to say recently on an interview. He talks about a number of other people as well, R. Kelly and others, in the interview. Now, of course, what's interesting is now there's some new information that came out today, or was it? Actually, it was yesterday, regarding our former president here, the Barackmeister. We'll call him that. How's that sound? Name came up during testimony in the federal trial against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. His former personal assistant testified. A-list partygoers were taking, of course, pills that apparently had his, face on them. What? Right? He also claimed to take, ecstasy at one of these parties, which Diddy allegedly filmed and later used. He says that he wasn't present at these parties, according to the testimony. But there's others that are saying the exact opposite. We have here one person, Suge Knight. Is that how you say his name? We'll get into that in a second here. Here's actually the shape of how it looked. What in the world, dude? And everyone's talking about this right now, that they were shaped like his face. And like I said, we're going to get into a ton of stuff in this video. We're just barely getting started. First, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 3 months worth for $4.97. You're going to definitely want to get that if you have not already. Considering all the things going on around us, you never know what's next. It's the lowest price they've had ever. It's about the price of 1 month's worth of food when you get 3 months worth. And link is in the description for that. Also, this book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Build a Cellar, Do Things Around the House like they did in the good old days. Hundreds of pages illustrated. You definitely want to get that if you have not already, because you never know when the power is going to go out. It's $37 plus shipping. Get the printed version. You have here, of course, it was just revealed in the Diddy trial, that former, of course, president used to meet with the man that used to pick up some of his goodies. These goodies right here. And confirms he met with the Obameister and other former presidents. Oh, so there's more than one, apparently. The hole just got deeper than we ever imagined. And here is some of the context from the court trial here. He met with a lot of people. Yes, even former presidents, the S on the end. So some are saying, some are speculating on who the other ones were. But this is one of them that was specifically mentioned. The Barackmeister, as I call him. What was your understanding would have happened if you hadn't done these things? Objection sustained. So, of course, that didn't go any much further on the what was being said there. We do have this former video where they're hanging out, and Diddy even kind of, I wouldn't say he slams him, but he says he's better than him. Or he says he's cool. He's kind of just making a joke a little bit because apparently former president here was getting sweaty. And so it's just kind of interesting. It's almost like he seemed like he thought he was the better man or had more dominance. That's kind of strange. He's not even the president, and he had this much sway. That's a little strange. You have here, of course, this is an interview. Michael, this is a guy who's a former mafia guy, Michael Franzese. Is that how you say his name? We have here him interviewing Suge Knight from prison. Check this out.
1,000%. You think Obama had anything to do with any of these parties that he had?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You got presidents, you got preachers. T.D. Jakes is one of the biggest black preachers around that everybody loves. Everybody in prison, if they try to get the word of religion, they're not going to the chapels somewhere. They're turning to watch T.D. Jakes. He had to resign from his whole community.
That's right.
He just resigned right when the court case, just around the time the court case came out.
You talking about the top of the top.
And it's more than one preacher, by the way. We'll get into that in a second. There's actually allegedly 36 to 38 preachers that went to these parties. But Diddy or T.D. Jakes actually was the biggest one, from what I understand. What is this? Okay, he says that he was an informant since the 90s. This is what Suge says, if that's how you say his name. Look at all these things he was able to do. He'd do all these things and nothing happened. One of his friends was convicted and nothing happened to him. The president pardoned him. So he's talking about one of Diddy's friends was pardoned. And then he goes on to say what we just heard there. So you also had Suge being interviewed. Suge Knight. Is that how you say his name? I don't even know. Whatever. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Being interviewed by Patrick Bet David here. Check this out.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant, and he's been one for many years.
That's what they say. Nothing ever happens, but it's still, like I say, it ain't my business. But I said that because anybody else got it up quick, fast, in a hurry. But, the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have an opinion on something either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there.
So he confirmed there that he said the same thing that he said on the other show. So, and what was this? I had another one here. Oh, no, this was the same interview I just played a minute ago. Okay, so then we have, of course, Bishop T.D. Jakes steps down from megachurch, hands leadership to daughter and son-in-law back on the 1st of this month. And I can't remember when exactly the trial started, but it was around the same time, maybe a little bit after this. I can't remember. But Bishop T.D. Jakes announced he will be stepping down and handing leadership of the Potter House Church, a non-denominational Christian church, to his daughter and her husband on Sunday. Jakes, 67, announced that his daughter Sarah Jakes Roberts and son-in-law Tudor Roberts will take over the church, which he founded in 1996. He made the announcement during an emotional sermon. So, of course, he never said he did anything wrong when he was at Diddy's parties. But he did step down, and this isn't the first minister of recent to step down. Oh, my goodness, we've had a million of them. And I'm not here to... And actually, I'll do a video soon here about... Like, there's a ton. There is a ton. Like half of those at the top have stepped down recently. Pretty much, it seems, across the board. It's not just prosperity dudes or charismatic. It's like Calvinist. It doesn't matter. Like all across the board, stepping down because they're knee deep in something they shouldn't be into, doing bad things. I'm guessing Paula White will also eventually find herself in trouble. This is just my guess. She's the head of the faith office for our president. Here she is hanging out with two people that are in the midst of a scandal trial of their own. Joni Lamb hanging out with leaders from the, what are they called? Daystar Network, TV network, where they got some big scandal going on as well right now. And I'm not trying to get into all this. I mean, there's literally a million of these guys. Dr. Michael Brown 3 weeks ago, just every week there's a new one. So that's why I have to do a comprehensive video on it. But getting back to the whole thing with the Didmeister, you have here this minister talking about how there were actually 36 preachers, not creatures, preachers that went to, of course, these parties. Maybe I should just say creatures instead. I don't know.
Hearing about this thing with P. Diddy going to, being arrested, and all the different people who were a part or associated with him. They have found a list of 30 some odd ministers that went to some of those, what they call them, freak off.
My goodness, dude. So 36 of them, ministers, going to these parties. You have here, of course, a lot of things being unraveled with regards to this whole court case. And, getting on to some other stuff, I think we'll talk a little bit about, we're going to talk more about Diddy in a second here. I wanted to mention Bruce Springsteen. Apparently, this is just so bizarre. Continues to trash America to European crowds. This is the guy that's saying born in the USA, tries to act like he's the all-American in his music. Although technically they say, technically the born in the USA is supposed to be a critique. I mean, the guy pretends like he's all about America, right? Not anymore, apparently. Now he's just talking trash about our country while he's in Europe. And so that's the kind of stuff going on with Bruce Springsteen these days. You have this movie that was, or not movie, actually, it's a TV series that's streaming June 24th. That is sort of related to Iron Man, but it was like some sort of spin-off. And apparently, in comic form, it did terrible, yet they still tried to make a movie about it, or a TV series, actually. Marvel TV series called Ironheart. Check this out.
Ironheart for you, a TV show commissioned 5 years ago when the whole let's swap out beloved legacy characters for diverse new alternatives craze was at its obnoxious peak in the MCU, based around a particularly unpopular comic book character from arguably the least successful era of Marvel Comics ever, who did nothing but ride the coattails of her far more popular male predecessor, only with none of his charm, likability, flaws, or character development. It was...
Of course, they tried to do the girl boss thing, which no one likes. I mean, they used to know how to do this right. I mean, you had Sigourney Weaver, you had I can't remember her name, the lady from Terminator. You had what you would call, I guess you would say, sort of girl bosses back in the 90s and early 2000s that weren't feminist, weren't saying they don't need, men or something, but they were like tough women, right? And they were successful. But now they've tried, for years, obviously, as you already know, the girl boss in the new light, and it's been a complete failure. They've been holding off on releasing this TV series because they saw all these failures with the movies, and they just thought, well, Maybe if we wait a while, it'll get better, and it never did. So they're finally just releasing it anyways. It's kind of like the whole Snow White thing. It's probably going to be a complete and utter failure, catastrophe, completely woke, obviously. And at any rate, by the way, if you're interested, we are making our game Noah VR. If you're interested in investing in our game, you can do so. Link is in the description for this. We have added 150 shares to this promotion where you can actually make money with us when we release the game. Those who've all already invested in the game will actually make more money now because we increased the percentage to 33. So it actually increased the amount you will be making, all those that already currently invested. But now we also have another 150 seats. So if you want to get involved or you want to add additional, you can do so. Link below. At any rate, we're getting pretty close to getting done with the game. We have to do, obviously, alpha, beta testing, a lot of things. We want to make sure we market this thing right so it's a huge success. So we're taking our time. Obviously, some of these games take years and years to make. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto. It's more than a decade. And they're actually just, what did they do? They just added another year to their creation. And they got like a massive team. They got like hundreds of people. We got like 4 or 5 people on this, right? So at any rate, we have one of the best programmers, though, in the world when it comes to VR on our game. The first game we're releasing is not VR. It's going to be sort of like a standard game like you would play on a monitor or on a TV with like an Xbox or something. It'll be released initially on Steam. And it's going to be sort of like an Indiana Jones meets the Ancient Past kind of game. And there's going to be a lot of adventure action in the game. You're going to be in this maze where there's going to be like mythical creatures from the ancient past, like a minotaur, things like that. They'll be able to do very bizarre things, and the maze will even change while you're in it. A lot of really crazy stuff. You're going to be going through caverns and in the dark where it's really scary. Things are going to be coming out at you. It's going to be a really interesting game when it's all said and done and completed. At any rate, so go check that out. Link is in the description. Let's get back to the video. So we have, of course, Hollywood actor Terrence Howard revealed on PBD that every celebrity that attended these parties got, blanked and lost their, what you would call, man card. And he referred to a number of people, obviously. You got LeBron James, of course, Jay-Z, and others, including a former president that he mentioned in the clip. And there is another really bizarre clip of two other actresses, or no, an actor and an actress. Chrissy, Teigen, if you've ever heard of her. They say some rather bizarre thing in this video. Let me just play this. This is kind of interesting. Let's see if I can get this on the screen right. There we go.
Public place, you did it. Is this the best or the worst? What do you do?
The best.
Okay, the best. Probably the Obama thing.
What? John, what's it? Oh God.
Oh God.
John.
What?
What is your wife talking about?
I don't know.
What is she talking about?
We're not.
Chrissy, get back here.
What is she talking about? I don't know. It's a good question. At any rate, so you got that. Now, the most bizarre of all of it is probably this one right here. This is bizarre. You have this guy. His name is Cassie, apparently. This man right here apparently was the one that was in our current president's hotel and tried to take him, of course, out. Apparently claims to be Diddy's, servant. Just read the screen there. And claims that Diddy and the Hillmeister and the Barmermeister, I'm just going to call them that, are part of a group, a religious group. As you can see there on the screen, just look at the screen, okay? It's like, what the heck is this crazy stuff? What? Of course, this is what he's saying. Okay. This sounds like literally a video I'd watched 10 years ago here on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like they had it perfectly right. Like these guys were saying this stuff 10 years ago on YouTube. Of course, they're not here anymore. But yeah, it looks like they might have been right. Maybe that's why they're not here anymore. I don't know. It's a miracle I'm still here. Literally a miracle. At any rate, you get the idea. So, and of course, you even had this dude saying that Joey, the previous, of course, president, wasn't exactly running the show. And it was this guy. That guy, his name pops up everywhere. What the heck? And of course, the Hillmeister as well, of course. She pops up a lot also. It's just so bizarre. Obviously, I can't really know the veracity of all these things. But it is really bizarre how it fits into a lot of things people have said over the years, right? Very bizarre. Now, I wanted to get into a couple other things really quickly. We got, apparently now 100K is low income in California in some cities. You're broke if you make 100K. What the hell is going on? You got, they're actually trying to get $30 an hour in some cities in California now. $30 as minimum wage. Minimum wage, no joke. You got store closures still going on. You got JCPenney closing 7 stores. Actually, it's a lot more than that. Walmart closed, or no, Walgreens. There's actually a lot. Let me show you this. I can't even get on the screen. Let's go down here. Maybe I'll show it down here. There you go. Walgreens closing 500 pharmacies. You got, there's another one too that was really, there's actually 2 others that are really big. What were they? It wasn't JCPenney's. Someone's closing 150 stores. Big Lots? No. Apparently it's not in the news now. It was literally there yesterday. I think it was like Rite Aid's closing 150 and another one's closing 150. Apparently they don't want to talk about it now. Yeah, Rite Aid was one of them. What was the other one? Yeah, they say 142 now. It was 150 the other day. 142. There's another one, man. Where did it go? Apparently they don't want to talk about it anymore. So there's actually multiple stores closing locations. I thought it was like JCPenney's competitor. I can't remember who it was though. You got Target here. A Target worker exposes massive tariff price hike for popular items. Kind of scared. Let's see if I can get on the screen so you can actually read it. There we go. Yeah. So apparently they're going to be raising prices at Target. Oh, that sounds like a little bit of a jump. I've been talking about this in other videos, how this is not legitimate. The tariff was like 2 weeks, and now they're like just using this as an excuse to raise all the prices. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Literally doubling the price almost there. You have, of course, the Walmart CEO coming out saying the exact same thing. Again, has nothing to do with food, has everything to do with electronics, whatever other items are at Walmart. The thing about it, though, is like I said, most likely whatever they increase prices on are not the things they bought from China recently. Almost guaranteed. Maybe in some cases is the case. But the fact is, I think this is an excuse because it takes about a month for items to get from China to America. How do I know? Because I used to order from there like a decade ago. Actually, it was more than a decade ago. It was, it was almost 2 decades ago. Yeah, it was 2 decades ago. I used to order from China. It takes about 3 weeks to a month and a half for them to ship it from China to America. It hasn't been a month since these tariffs started and they already ended. So there's no way this is even true. They're just raising prices because they want to use it as an excuse to raise prices. This is kind of my theory on it. And of course, Kroger apparently also, and Walmart also doing extensive tracking on, of course, customers. And some they've been talking about this with regards to cars too. Apparently newer cars, they get a lot of data about people that are driving their cars. This is another thing that's been coming out as well. At any rate, that's my video. I kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.